It is the triple cage match for the NLW Championship. Daniel Bryan defends against Kenny Omega and Kevin Owens, who is going to walk out of the triple cage as NLW Champion. And there you see the first look at this cage in all its glory. The aim of the game is simple. These three men will start in that Hell in a Cell cage. They will make their way on the ladder through to the second cage, aka Hardcore Hell. There's weapons strewn everywhere. From here you've got to find the key, climb to the third and final cage. This is where the NLW Championship will be held. You get on top of that third cage and you grab the championship and you are the champion. And about to make his way to the ring, it is the prize fighter, Kevin Owens. Owens has never been in a match like this before, but he is no stranger to matches like this. This is the first pay-per-view appearance of Kevin Owens since his match 3 years ago at WrestleMania 3. On that night, he defeated Triple H in a brutal I Quit match. Tonight, he steps into a match which Triple H himself said took years off his own career. The triple cage. However, this is the price they are willing to pay. And here comes the second challenger. A man who has been in a cage like this not too long ago when he beat The Undertaker inside Hell in a Cell to end a brutal rivalry at Enter the Dragon. Tonight, he steps back into the cage, only this time there's 3 tiers and the NLW title is up for grabs. And if you've not already seen it, I would recommend you go and check out the Triple Cage exclusive preview that is currently on this channel. In it, there's exclusive interviews from all 3 of the men in this match, including EVP Triple H and the Commissioner Shawn Michaels, talking about just how brutal this match is going to be and what their thoughts are heading into it. It's a really interesting insight. I'd recommend you go check that out on this channel after you've watched this match. But right now we've got the third and final entrant. It is the American Dragon, Daniel Bryan, who this past week got hit with a one-winged angel from Kenny Omega. And obviously, there was respect between Bryan and Omega. They have a storied past here. They wrestled at WrestleMania 3, the same event where Owens beat Triple H in that I Quit match. However, things have been bubbling under the surface for several months. Ever since Kenny Omega came to the rescue of Daniel Bryan, all he asked for in return was an NLW title match, and things kept getting delayed. We had an inconclusive finish between these 3 on episode 94 when both Omega and Owens pinned Daniel Bryan at the same time. So hopefully this match will finally settle the score between these 3 men. The triple cage is underway. And a suplex into the corner. And now Owens has the right idea to grab the ladder for the drop kick from Omega. Remember, you've got to climb the ladder into the second cage, climb into the hatch, and then grab the NLW title, but went for the V-trigger, got caught with a kick, and a brutal kick from Bryan. Omega knocked the loopy for a second, but a ladder shot from Kevin Owens. And throws the ladder right at Kenny Omega. And a cannonball to Kenny. There has only ever been one other NLW Triple Cage match. That was on episode 27 back in 2015. It was won by Sting. It also featured The Undertaker and current EVP Triple H. And now the next generation are set to fight in this cage as Bryan punches Omega, but I should say punches Owens, but gets thrown into the cage. And now Owens looking for the cannonball, but hits the cage instead. And you know what? There's such high risk, and these men talked about it this past week. The dangers of this cage, and there's a tope from Bryan. They discussed it, how the fact that there's 3 tiers means this cage has to be reinforced, which means when you hit the cage, it's all the more devastating. Triple H said it's like hitting concrete, and look out for Omega! Tope con hilo over the top. But he hit his face onto that cage. And the ladder's in the ring. So we will see whether or not Omega will be able to take advantage and climb. Look out for him coming over the top. There you see it again. This is our main event here at NLW True Grit. NLW title on the line in this triple cage match. Only the second ever in company history. And on a moonsault, you can't escape onto the ladder. And what a fitting move for a match like this. And comes Daniel Bryan with a chop. And clotheslines out Kenny. Both men go into the cage, and again, Omega thrown into the cage. And a drop kick from Bryan. And Bryan runs at him, but an elbow stops him in his tracks. Omega climbs the cage and a moonsault from the side of the cage. Wiping out Bryan. He's taking some time to catch his breath. And now Owens, oh jeez. Damn, did you see the way that ladder connected off the skull of Kenny Omega? No remorse from Owens. Now Kevin Owens with a twisting corkscrew suplex. Fisherman Buster, whatever you want to call it, it's effective. And now Kenny Omega is down, and Owens has his sights set on climbing into the second cage, but there's Daniel Bryan to deliver a German suplex. And now Bryan lying in wait. Going for the Psycho knee. No! Pop-up powerbomb. Owens stops him in his tracks. And Daniel Bryan is down. Is the title reign, which began in a triple threat, ironically, at WrestleMania 4, is that coming to an end? Here tonight, Daniel Bryan gets suplexed gut first on that open ladder. And now it's Kenny Omega's time to climb. He's trying to open the hatch. But there's Kevin Owens to stop it. And off the top of the ladder, a suplex. Suplex from the top of the ladder. And Kenny Omega's down, but in comes Daniel Bryan. Is he going to climb and get into that second cage? Maybe he's got a hand on it. And there's Kevin Owens. Oh, and he pushes the ladder over. And Daniel Bryan crashes and burns. Bryan crashing and burning to the outside. And Kevin Owens very happy with himself. But I'll tell you what, Daniel Bryan in a heap of trouble. Gets pushed over. And first of all, his shoulder hit that cage at an awkward angle. Because there's no give. You hit it like concrete. It's like a concrete wall. And then you fall down, and Bryan busted open. As Kenny Omega, wait, what the hell? Oh, wait. He's going to climb into the second cage. But Owens pulls it away, and now Omega hanging from the top of the cage. And a poison spike rhino to Owens. Kevin Owens spiked, and there's a V-trigger. V-trigger to Omega. I should say to Owens. Keep getting those two mixed up. But I'll tell you what, they both have the same amount of passion and heart to become NLW champion. And torpedoes Owens into the cage. And a drop kick to Bryan. The cleaner's on fire. And Bryan still bleeding. Omega brings the table in, and there's a kick from the bloody champion. Omega rocked. And is Bryan running for the knees? No! Caught out with a powerbomb into the cage. No give whatsoever on that powerbomb, and Bryan still bleeding. He is in a bad way here. As Owens is placed on that table by Omega. What is Kenny thinking here? He could go into that second cage now. But Owens is there to stop him. Stopping him on that ladder. And the table's set up. Oh no, oh no! Package pile driver from the top of the ladder through the table. And that may be it for Kenny Omega. Owens has his eyes fixated on that NLW championship. All he has to do is climb. Easier said than done, but look at that. That may have taken out Omega. Package pile driver through the table, and he may be done for. And Owens, he's unlocking the hatch. Bryan to his feet. And Bryan with a diving headbutt to the ladder. And that's the kind of thing that can cause you concussion. But it may have worked. Owens knocked off the ladder. Daniel Bryan climbing. Is he gonna? Oh, he is. He's in the second cage now. Daniel Bryan in hardcore hell. And now Kenny Omega gonna join him. They're in the second cage, but before Omega gets to him, is Daniel Bryan gonna unlock the door? He's got the key, but Kenny Omega slams the chair in the spine. And now there's weapons throughout. There's the kendo stick and a chop from Omega. Any one of these men could fall through at any moment. Goes for the V trigger maybe, but he hits the cage. And Daniel Bryan now with that kendo stick. The yes lock applied. That kendo stick ripping at the flesh of Omega. And wait a minute. Kevin Owens has joined them. And Kevin Owens has the key. Owens unlocking the door. But Daniel Bryan slams the door in his face. And there's a German suplex onto the steel with that kendo stick hooking. Bryan is losing a lot of blood fast. And now Omega, I should say Owens, is also bleeding and raking that barbed wire back across the face. And Owens with a brainbuster suplex on the steel, and they're just above that hatch that they used to get in. And now Kevin Owens showing off his sadistic nature, taunting with a V-trigger. Oh my God! Kenny Omega with a mega V-trigger. That sends both men crashing through the side of that cage. Look at this again. Owens too busy showboating and gets hit with a V-trigger. Both men fall through the side and this cage gets busted open. Speaking of busted open, look at this. Stomping the trash can on the skull of Owens. And that table off the throat of Kenny Omega. I mean, it's desperation at this point. They're on the outside now. And Omega with that crutch right to the skull of Daniel Bryan, who's laid out on that table. If Bryan falls off that table, he's falling through the announce table, I'm telling you now. And Omega climbs a cage with a super moonsault. And Omega just about hangs on. Daniel Bryan through the table, and there's a stunner. A stunner from Kevin Owens. Owens taking out the cleaner. And Owens now climbing that trust. Kevin Owens is on top of the second cage. All he has to do, climb up that third one. And he's trying to get the title belt with Psycho Knee from Daniel Bryan, who puts a stop to it. Man, oh man, it's high risk up there. On top of the cage. But thrown into that third one. Owens creating some separation. Bryan hanging on. Oh my God! top of the cage. And a V-trigger from Omega. And a one-winged angel. Owens and Bryan. Both men are down. Omega. He's got a clear path to the championship. All he has to do is unhook it. Wait a minute, what is this? What the hell? It's the Undertaker. What is he doing out here? What the hell is Mr. Money in the Bank? The Antichrist of Pro Wrestling, Jeff Hardy, climbing the cage, and the referee, he's signaling to something, and Jeff Hardy is cashing in mid-match. Jeff Hardy cashing in Money in the Bank. And Jeff is the new NLW champion. Well, what the hell is going on? We saw Hardy earlier tonight. He won the contract of his own brother. And now he's cashed in his own Money in the Bank contract. Well, here you see Bryan was thrown off of the cage. Brutal display. And then this V-trigger and the one-winged angel from Kenny Omega. I mean, Omega had it won. And the Undertaker was there. And then thanks to the Undertaker, Jeff Hardy able to cash in Money in the Bank, grab the championship, and look at this. They're shaking hands. And I think it's pretty obvious to everyone watching that the higher power Jeff Hardy was talking about was the Undertaker himself, and the new recruit to the ministry is also the new NLW champion, Jeff Hardy.